The grocery store, little kids stuff.
Alright, call the council meeting order, please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Cronwell.
Here.
Warner.
Here.
Wenzel.
Here.
Huber.
Here.
Shadell. Here. Reedy.
Here.
One absent.
Thank you. No statement today. We need approval of the agenda.
So move. Support.
Motion's been made and supported to approve the agenda. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have public statement regarding current agenda items only. Next up, we have the consent agenda.
So move.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Accounts payable. Accounts payable 7/2/2024 for the amount of $153,291.06.
So moved.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have accounts payable from 7/16/2024 without root note for a total of $124,846.23.
So move.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have root note invoices totaling $3,040.
So moved.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
Carries. No unfinished business. Under new business, items for introduction discussion. Dr. White is discussing the car cruise.
Yes, thank you. Please bear with me. My name is Jeff Roy. I own the barber shop in Chestnut. I was watching the last council minutes and stuff for your YouTube channel, and somebody commented, like, who started the cruise? I'm like, well, I thought everybody knew, but I guess not everybody knew, so I thought I'd come in and introduce myself. So I'm going to give you a little background history on how the cruise started. Me and my family were talking about what we did in the 80s, which most of us know that we cruised our town in the 80s. Well, this was during COVID. And being a businessman, I was very nervous when everything opened that Chesapeake was going to be a dying town because everybody was going to the big box stores. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get a bunch of my buddies up here with cars and cruise town, kind of, you know, get Chesapeake hopping a little bit, you know. Well, everybody liked it, so they're like, let's do it more. I said, all right, let's do it once a month. So this whole thing started that way, you know, and I really believe it kind of put Chesapeake back on the map right after COVID because, you know, I was really nervous that I'd come back and didn't have a business, you know. And so we started the cruise. Me and the family have done it for 4 years. This will be our 5th year. And to me, it's been a great success. I've got some numbers here I want to read to you off, like our Facebook. Oh, and by the way, we haven't taken any donations, never asked for no money, nothing. This is all out of my family's pocket, every penny of it. So the audience that we have following us through Facebook is 2.7 thousand people, which is a phenomenal number. We got 166,000 followers. Content interactions, 3.8. So we've got a lot of people that are really looking at Chesapeake, saying, wow, you know, even though, I mean, that's our name on it, you know. No negative comments on our page. The age gender of it, actually, the most people that come out here are between 33 and 64, believe it or not. We have more 65 and over than we do 18 to 24 coming to Chesapeake to see this cruise. The things we have done for this during the cruise, Kiwanis camping in the park. Just so happened that 1 year they were down there, so we all went down and bought candy. Probably had, I don't know, 15, 20 cars go through and hand out candy. It turned out really nice. It was fun. So the Kiwanis was like, can we do it again next year? I said, yeah, if you guys do it on the third Saturday. So we've been doing this all along. Going down to the park and doing that. One year, a member of our crew bought 200 fishing poles and handed them down to Cole Park to all the kids. And another gentleman seen what we were doing, so he brought tackle down and handed to the kids. So the kids were actually getting their fishing poles, putting tackle on, and going right to the river and fishing, which was really cool. And my favorite night of the cruise is the trunk or treat that we do every year. Last year, we had over 400 kids come through our trunk or treat. When you're looking at 400 kids, now you're talking 2 adults and sometimes grandma and grandpa are with them. So we're bringing a boatload of people in for that. That's my favorite night, I guess. So anyways, I guess that was kind of all I really wanted to say. Was I just kind of wanted to give you the background of how it started, what's going on, who's funding it, and I've had a lot of good compliments about it. So I'm just hoping that cleared up. Who's running the show would be my family, my son-in-law, my sons, us three are the most involved in it. So I just think that the positive is going to outweigh a little bit of negative that comes along with it. So I thank you for your time.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, next up, we have items for action. Brett Russell is requesting to close down Chapman Street for the weekly farmers market.
All right. I feel like I was here like a year ago. This is the 10th anniversary of the Market off Broad.
Congratulations.
So we're giving a motion. We'd like to have it again on Chapman Street for what's last year. The market would run the same time on Saturdays from 10 to 1 with set up starting at 9. And asking for permission to close the street at that time. Usually closing from the intersection to just before the entrance of Dollar General. So what's the date for it? The date is going to start, we're hoping, this Saturday, pending approval. But then it ends in October.
October 12th.
Yes.
Make a motion. Brett Russell have his dates for the market.
Support.
Motion been made and supported to approve the farmers market on Chapman Street Saturday. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next up, Brett Russell again, requesting the use of Showboat Park August 8th to 11th for Shakespeare.
Yeah, so we're looking at doing Shakespeare's Let's Do It Up Nothing, same spot as we did last time we did the show. We'll be down at the bottom of the hill, below the bathrooms, people so we're looking at that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then holding that Sunday, the 27th. So if it rains one of those days, we're going to try Sunday so that it's still outside. There's probably 20 students and alumni in the production, so it's pretty decent size. It's set in 1950s, so we use 1950s costumes, and we modernized the Shakespeare lingo a little bit, so it's not so tough to understand. And we cut the script from 2.5 hours to 1 hour. So it's an hour show, 1950s lingo, so it should be a lot of fun. So I don't know that we need to use anything other than the space there. I think one time we plugged into the power pole across the ball diamond. That was about it. So there is power and building.
The one up to the west where you're going to be, it used to be a coal pump house.
Oh, yeah.
Closer. I make a motion to approve the use of Showboat Park for Shakespeare, August 8th through 11th.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, say saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next up, Brett Russell again. Man, you just want the whole. Requesting the use of whole park October 24th to the 27th for theater in the park.
I thought I'd try to get it all set up.
Makes sense.
So this one's new. We haven't done this before, and we'll see how the weather goes. But we're looking at doing Edgar Allan Poe. It's a play called Nevermore. It's a collection of 4 of his short story poems. We thought it'd be fun to perform the weekend before Halloween outside on the river. We thought this area right across by the pavilion, we've got some trees right next to the river, would be kind of cool if this fall when the leaves had changed. So I hope it goes well. If the weather's bad, it'll probably be this school. I hope it.
No.
I'm hoping for fall sellers, but really more.
That's in September.
This is a high school production, so this will be high school students only. It's a cast of about 15, and we would ask the audience to bring their own chair. I don't think the audience will see 75 or 90.
Motion to grant Russell permission to use Bull Park October 24th through the 27th for his Edgar Allan Poe event.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Jim Waswick requesting a sewer tap-in fee waiver. Jim, you wanna give us your background?
Okay. First of all,
Oh, we need your address.
what's that?
We need your address.
Oh, 808 Thayer Street, that's me. And the waiver's for 809 Thayer Street.
Is there any particular reason you're requesting the waiver?
Yes, well, I lived across the street pretty much ever since I was 20 years old. And, not too far from Bill London. But anyway, COVID hit and, some of my friends were passed away from it. And so I said, I'm not gonna expose myself. So I had retired and I was thinking of something to do of my time, so I went across the street and purchased a piece of property that used to have a house that was owned by, Martini Resty years back. And the house had, wasn't in very good shape, and it sat there for quite a few years, and finally got torn down. So I went over and I purchased the property with the intent to build a garage over there and eventually maybe house. Well, the house came probably about 2 years later from the garage. So what we did is at the time we were building the house, we approached the existing administrator about water and sewer. Huh? Yeah, that was before Tom Hill. And so the old administrator said he would have to check into that. So we hired, Mike Entry. And Mike came down and he looked at the map and they tried to find places where they could get into the water and the sewer. Well, for 2 years, we struggled trying to get water and sewer in this property. We found the water tap, but for some reason we couldn't find the sewer tap. But every time Mike would come out and he would dig to try to find the sewer tap, I was getting the bill on it. So when he dug the sewer in a certain place looking for it by the tree out there, you know, they got done looking, he sent me a bill for $800 on it. So we ended up with 3-4 charges trying to find this sewer tap out there. Well, we never did find it. And I don't know why. There was a water and sewer, but maybe Tom knows why. They couldn't find it on the map.
I don't know why they were looking for it. I was not there for that, so I don't know the circumstances behind it. You know, we have a location now that we found, and you bore under to get to where that location would be.
Yeah. But the old administrator, what he says, and Tom couldn't find anything on this either. He was trying to look it up. But he says, I believe there's a $2,000 tap-in fee, and they charge for time and materials. So, because of all the problems we had going around there trying to find a sewer for that thing, the old administrator, I think his name was Wenzel, was it?
Easy.
No, that's
Troy?
James Wickman would be who I was saying.
Was it?
Wickman?
Wickman, that's it. Sorry, it wasn't you.
We're blaming me for it.
So anyway, he says, I came down here and I seen him and we talked about it and he says, and I don't know if he approached the council, I don't know how he came up with this decision. That's the clue, because we can't find any minutes on it or anything. But he says, what we'll do, he says, we'll waive the fee, he says, and you're gonna pay for the time and the materials. So in the meantime, he disappears and he's gone and Tom gets it and right in the middle of it. So we got held all up on it again. And we're trying to get sewer into this property, and I don't know where the taps is, and they can't find it. And I bought the property with the intention that we'd have water and sewer there, but, you know, every piece of property around that area has got water and sewer, including mine across the street, so I don't know. But we paid out so much money already on digging fees and everything, we're into over $8,000 on excavating charges, so. So I guess we're looking for something, to get some help on this thing, you know, what we can do to.
There was nothing in the DPW things about that house being here before with the lines and all that?
There's nothing mapped. I mean, we found it now. We know where to tap it now, but I don't.
That's the
It's
new
hard
tap.
because a new tap, because we're 3 years away from when this was started, so I don't know what the thought process was, when they were doing it originally. They looked for the old tap, couldn't find it. So we found a spot for a new tap, but that's where we're at.
So there's possibly still the old tap there somewhere on the property.
I'm assuming it's west of, right, maybe, that's my guess.
Well, where the water, in my property across the street, the water main comes in, my sewer is probably about maybe 6 feet over from that. And I suggested that to Mike, I said, maybe it's 6 feet, so they came down and they got with, Mark Schultz, and Mark Schultz says, no, it ain't there. It would never be there, he said. So, they kept trying to find it, they just never could come up with it, finding it.
With these old houses, it's hard to know what exactly was done. I mean, that house originally was built probably before anybody in this room was around.
It
So,
might not even have had sewer. Possible,
I don't
it
know.
was septic or dumping right into the river.
I don't know. But,
Not bad, it's not bad.
but the way things get teed off back in the day, you know, they would run extra line. I have no idea where it's at. So we could sit there and dig all day for it, probably not.
But the problems are solved. But, I mean, other than financial, you can have both water and sewer.
Yeah, we can get it in there now if we, you know,
It
put
was
a
that-
new tap in, yeah. Finally, and I mean, I had to have, see, another thing, the storm drain, we found this out later, Mike never said anything about this, that the storm drain, it's code, you can put the storm drain and the sewer in the same trench. You can't put the water in there, but you can put the storm sewer and the drain in the same trench. That should have been done when the foundation went through. So we put the storm drain in there and already paid for that. That was, you know, money to get that done. And then now we could have put the drain in there, so I had to get directional boring out. They had to bore underneath the house. Had to pay to have all the boring done underneath the house to get the water lines and the sewer lines underneath the house, and they brought it back. They hooked the water line up now. The water line is hooked up. But the sewer line, they brought it back and they stubbed it off, you know, out so that we can get into it now.
So you got it out from your house.
That's out now from the house, yeah.
Not going down.
Right, but it's currently being built.
It's almost
that
over.
should all have been put in.
It's
First.
pretty close to finalized.
I want to move in for the end of the year.
Which year?
This year. It's my goal.
But yes, we do have a place to tap in now, so.
Is it just not documented where all those pipes run?
A lot of the stuff wasn't, I mean, they document it now as they find it and map it.
What they're doing,
It's one of the reasons
What
I'd
they-
like to go down there and get some work done there maybe next year.
what they do now is they put a tracer wire around the sewer
By Sam's house.
Yeah, right, yeah.
so that they can, so that you can come along with a detector and detect where these sewer lines are. And they're still, in this town, I noticed they're not putting the tracer wires in.
We did a whole bunch of them when they relined the pipes, but some of them just not through. And some of them go nowhere. For the rating. What do you guys thoughts?
I'm not opposed to helping him. I don't know if I know what the answer is, but I'm not opposed to helping him. It sounds like he's made a great deal of effort and nothing to his fault without success.
We're talking about the fee, not the time
Yeah.
and materials, right? It's not these $2,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same old slippery slope. What you do for one, you must do for all, type of thing.
Great.
So we have to take into consideration if this is something we would do in the future for other residents of the village. Or if we want to just remove the tap and fee completely.
Which we wouldn't be able to do until we redo the budget come February.
Or some help, maybe on the fee or something.
You said you've got roughly 4 different dig sites looking for the tap?
What's that?
You got roughly 4 different taps, or looking for the tap? point?
Yeah, they looked in the front by the tree, they looked out front by this side of the tree, they couldn't find it. They went back on Bentley Street, we thought maybe we could come off on Bentley Street, they couldn't find it off on Bentley Street.
Was this
And every time he digs, he sends me a bill.
Right.
We did not increase those, no.
This was not one we increased.
So a whole lot of effort helps.
How does council feel about reducing it by 3/4 and charging 500 versus the 2,000?
I'd be close to that.
Again, I can play ball with any, helping him with sorts. He made 4 different efforts. I mean, he's paid his dues for the efforts.
I make a motion to approve Jim Waswick's request for sewer tap and fee to be waived by $1,500, having him pay $500 for the tap and fee.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Nothing personal. It's just, we just can't do it for everyone, but reducing it, I think, is fair.
It's crazy.
Alright, next up we have infrastructure.
No meeting yet. It is, oh, it is coming, okay.
Public safety, GDA.
DDA is next month.
Chamber is gonna be at the end of this month. Planning commission.
Next week.
Well, I would like to say, a member of the chamber reached out to me and said, the village did a great job cleaning up the park, making sure everything where it needs to be, solving the problem, so.
After fireworks, that was Jeff Conklin, a
Yes.
wonderful employee in the park.
Single-handedly saved that park after the fire.
He's his brother, Eddie.
I don't know what happened, they showed up to clean up the next day and it was already done, so.
Big shout out to Jack.
Yeah, big shout out to Jeff.
Airport.
No meeting, but
Oh, wait, I missed one.
Next week.
Next week.
You did that one, huh?
Airport.
Rod said it on-
there's no
Oh,
meetings,
sorry.
but they have their flying.
Rod said it on the budget.
Yeah.
Last month.
Oh, they just went over the match.
Oh, that's right. they didn't meet. My kids were in a softball tournament. We won that
Now
game.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Yes. We just had the flying breakfast, had a rough start at 7, when it was cloudy, it was gonna rain, and I'm guessing they'll come heavy numbers. But pretty sure it went well, because there was a long line, probably by 8:45, that never stopped. And I left at 10:45, and they were still standing there trying to get it. Now, there's a rumor in the village that a certain news person thinks it's one of the best events of the month. I'm not naming names.
Fairboard?
20 runs since the last meeting, bringing 119 runs total. Training was done Sunday and Monday on hose lines. They laid out different hose lines and that, and used different nozzles for the strings on it. They got the ladder truck out so everybody could learn how to do that. Then they used ladders showing how to put up against buildings and all that, stir them. The final on the golf line was about $9,300. And the next Firebird game is August 14th at 6 p.m.
Thanks, Will. Passports. Next week. First.
No meetings.
Danielle, one question. Anything on the dog park?
No, I did see an email come through, but I did not get a chance to read it, to see what any of the updates are. I will come with one, well, I will not be at the next meeting because I will be on a family vacation. I will bring one the third week of August.
All right, next up, we have public statements and topics limited to 3 minutes. Jim, if you have more. Mike Gavar, Carrie Frank Footless, Brett Russell, and Damian.
Bam, I'm good.
I need to sign in, so we want to ask. All right.
Oh.
Quick.
Actually-
Councilman.
October, was it 19th?
Yeah.
Can we get Chapin Street shut down for the trunk or treat for the cruise night?
No.
You've done it for us for the last 3 years. Chapman.
Chapman, sorry. Yeah,
October
19th.
What was your name again?
Damian Bingham.
And it works out. Don't have to move those blockades. Next day,
No, you're right, it worked perfect.
It has every year that way.
the next day you leave them for him. And then the 20th, also the chamber charcuterie. For all that, I'll make a motion for, what was it, from October 19th to close Chapman Street. Another 1 block or less than 1 block radius for their trunk or treat.
Support.
Motion been made and supported to close Chapman Street on October 19th for the trunk or treat. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
What time?
Thank you.
6 p.m.
We try to finish before dark just for safety.
Right after. Alright, next up, council member statements. Council member have a statement?
When I talked to Tommy Dave, I swear we did the front of the Heritage House with an older couple, but they never took the weeds down on the side.
That would be Neil Coleman.
Was that Neil?
I believe. I'm guessing he just did it out of the kindness of his own heart. I have no other information on it. I didn't ask him.
So are we billing this guy for this?
The village does it, yes.
I think we should bill him and again, get all
I
the
can't
weeds
bill
down.
him for Neil Coleman.
Not Neil, but this has done again on the sides and all that stuff around it. Those sides are looking bad.
Alright, first, we need someone to put a battery in that clock.
Maintenance ticket.
Maintenance ticket.
Second, someone approached me because they were interested in seeing if we could find out, the village could find out if it's possible to get signs around the village, like you see in other municipalities. That when you come into town, it says this way to the high school, this way to the parks. Yes, this way to camping, because according to what I was told, not naming names, but there's a giant crowd that likes to travel with their RVs and campers and go around. They know there's camping here, they're just never sure where it is. So.
I think we talked about it, and this was a long time ago, we talked about, Troy was here,
But
we just never did anything.
I don't know what it would cost or what we'd have to look into. I mean, I don't know if the state does it, just have to ask them.
I think we'd have to get that approved and that and stuff.
So,
Is our, when I think about it, there's no camping exit when you get off on, 127. There's no exit for our campground, maybe we need to get
I've
that.
wondered about those signs, because there's one leaving our town that points you towards the motel in St. Charles.
right.
You know, like how's that gonna
And there's one for just in time out on whatever road, Ransom Road.
Right.
For us.
Find someone, the signs that say this way to the high school for people who are looking for the high school, middle school, the golf course, where the campsite is, or camping, down the Shovel Park.
Technically, it would take you to Shovel Park and to the campground, or to the fairgrounds, because there's camping at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
I think the part of it was money, we didn't have the money to do it.
Yeah, it could be.
We have to come up with a concise design.
Right, it was the concise design. I think we were going to incorporate the park into it, and we were going to get new signage for the park as well. It was all going to be concise, and then there was discussions about the motorized or the non-motorized path, and I think it was supposed to come when that came. If I remember correctly, it was something that was discussed when we did those big roundtable groups. I don't even know, almost 5
Yes,
years
it
ago
was,
now.
because there was a couple of people that were sitting in those meetings.
Yeah, well, I was in them.
This seems like a really good job for infrastructure.
Why are they all good jobs?
Because that's an infrastructure.
Wait, that's not me. Oh, thank
No,
God. Thank God, I just thought.
I was just thinking, finance and admin should go through it first.
No, I don't think, until we know what to do.
We're gonna need prices before
Right.
we can look at it.
I'm gonna assign that to infrastructure.
Excellent idea. Probably the best idea this year, Mr. President.
I wonder if we could go to Agriographics.
You gotta go through.
Gotta go through the state
Find out
first.
if you're going up 50.
Well, for our own stuff, like we can do our.
Oh, yeah,
if you
for
wanna
park,
do
it's
that,
the-
you're
the
gonna wanna find out
campground.
the state stuff.
Yeah. But like the schools and all that, that's for us.
And there's other suggestions made to me that people were asking about the properties we were discussing being up for sale. They'd like it to be more public, posted, things like that. That's all.
I got sidetracked, it just hasn't
It
been.
just seems like they heard about it, but it's not been posted anywhere. So.
Yeah. It's on my list of stuff to do. It's a pretty long list.
That's all. But I mean, my hot topic was that battery dying clocks.
See if I have one here.
Gotta have your priorities, man.
The sign's no big deal. Battery's a big deal.
See if I can figure out how to reset it.
It should reset itself as long as you get it started.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Anybody else? All right, moving on into village staff report, 16.
Moving forward, I'm going to break down the stats. From the first 2 pages, will just be an overbrief. The next 2, I'm going to take 12 categories from the stats and break it down more. I'm going to tell you the day the event happened, and if possible, there's a summary of each event, so it'll be a little bit more detailed so you know what's going on. The back page shows the events that the police department was at this past month. We did the fireworks, the car show, and the pancake breakfast at the airport. No major issues nor complaints were reported from any of the events. The testing, the fireworks were great. They estimated over 700 cars came into the park, so it was a very large event. No issues though, no fireworks, other than the actual show. So I know Keith was happy about that.
I was safe here.
No major purchases from the department this past month, but 419 did need a new brake, so it would been a purchase that was made. Other than that, any questions?
Thanks, Chief. Anybody else got questions? Alright, moving on, let's see what we got. Administrator report.
We are in the final stretch for the annual audit. I wanted to say a huge thank you to Donna Kraft in the office, along with Raymond Accounting and AHP. It is an unbelievable amount of paperwork, and it's a ton of work, and Donna's been working very hard on it. And so we're near the end. So thanks to Donna and both audit teams for working so hard. We submitted the joint permit application to Eagle for the kayak launch. That'll be installed hopefully at Cole Park. Once that comes back, if everything's good, we can start planning construction. Hoping to still begin that at some point later this year, at least to start construction. And pancake breakfast, huge success. Fireworks, huge success. Car show, huge success. So this weekend, just thanks to Nick Stoddard, his crew, DPW, Chief Short, Officer Connors, and everyone who made all those events happen. I think it went great.
Go team!
Yeah, so that's it.
Thanks, Tom. Next up, we have the marijuana work session. We're gonna focus on the proposed ordinance 2024-03, the order ordinance. Does any council member have any comments or suggestions on changes? If we're good on the way this looks, we will schedule a public hearing and go from there. If there's any changes that need to be made, we need to do that before we schedule a public hearing.
I think we spoke with Ryan about the ordinance.
Keto? Yeah. Yeah. He's good. He's on board.
I did notice under, number 1, letter B. One or more fans appropriate in size according with the manufacturer's specification or based on cubic feet per minute. What's the base on it though? Like if your building's 15,000 square feet or cubic feet.
You'd have to look at the fans and make sure that they're
They're rated.
capable of moving that much, per, based on the size of the room. So if it's 100,000 cubic feet and the fans do 50, they have to get 2 of them. 50,000.
So you're talking basically changing that air out every minute.
That would be the goal.
And I do believe most fans will say that. But if you put too big of a one, you have a problem. I think this one's your baby.
Yeah, no, I just like to, we get home and look it over with my notes. Next meeting.
Yeah.
We could set a public hearing at the next meeting.
Okay. Yes, we want to make changes that time too,
So I would make the changes and then give it a meeting.
Yeah, that's probably.
Okay.
And then we can get any changes we make, so the attorney to verify it. Alright.
And then when we make changes and come back to the next meeting, then we set the public hearing. So
I just wanted to give a chance.
I'm hoping everybody got this like 3 weeks ago. But yes, so we'll look at it over the next 2 weeks, and then the next meeting we'll come back with any changes, If there are none, we'll set a public hearing. If there are changes, we'll have to come back to the next meeting and make sure that that's what you want. And the next meeting is August.
Don't jinx it. I'm on another stroke. Alright, anybody else have anything under ordinances? Alright, next up we have executive session contract negotiations. We need a motion to consider regular session. Make a motion to exit regular session at 8:10 p.m.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported, we'll need a roll call vote, please.
Todd can give you his. I'm just joking. I'm sure we'll have, once they're approved and figured out, then I can post them before the public hearing.
Here. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Here. Yes.
Yes.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to, wait,
Now we can.
no. Motion has been made and supported to adjourn. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Cool. That's really help us go home and do some more chores.
Anybody get the time that we went into session?
8:10.